Hello and welcome back to another episode of So Sweet Violet. My name is Jooles and this podcast is to share the crafty side of my life. I love to make both yarny things and fabric things. You can find me on Patreon, Instagram and Ravelry as So Sweet Violet. You'll find the links to the things that I talk about in this video down below in the description box. I live in West Sussex in England with my lovely husband and little Mabel, our whippet. Hello and welcome to my knitting journal. This is episode 91. I just want to say a huge thank you. I felt so welcomed back with big open arms. You were all so kind and left lovely comments and honestly I felt so, my heart just swelled, so thank you so very much for that. Right, I've done quite a bit of knitting, so it's been a month I think about since my last knitting episode. So I did a quilting episode, but this episode is going to be knitting, and I've finished a few things. Have I started? Yes, I've started a few things. I've got some dream knitting, so I think we should get started. I'll just have a bit of coffee to wet my whistle. Oh, it's hot. It's in one of my lovely Emma Bridgewater mugs. Isn't that pretty? Such a good colour. Okay, it's a very stormy morning actually. It rained all night so hard, and I love that because I just lay, if I was awake, I just laid there listening. So nice. And today it's very grey, windy and a bit rainy. Very nice. Okay, I'm going to start with finished things, and first up is my Cambridge hat, and this is a pattern by my gorgeous friend Amy Loudon. This is the pattern, the Cambridge hat. And I knit this from Dandelion and Dogwood yarn, which is now her sister's business, Jen. Oh, she's just amazing. So it's Dandelion and Dogwood in their Pillow DK in Bend and Snap. Excuse me if my throat's a bit scratchy today. I get that sometimes. It's not a cold or anything. Yeah, and it's just beautiful. It's such a nice pattern. And as always with Amy's patterns, it's just so well written. It's like so easy to understand. And the cast on, I haven't done many tubular cast ons. Please excuse my voice. But this was so easy and it looks so good. Look at that, isn't that amazing? And I feel like I'm going to adopt this cast on for almost everything. It's lovely, and this yarn is super soft. I knit the, hang on, I need to check. Oh, that's a surprise. I didn't write it on my pattern, but I'm pretty sure I started off with the small adult and I thought that was a bit small. So I then unpicked and cast on for the large adult, and that is what this is. Yeah, it's just beautiful. I'm really pleased. So this is a lovely dog walking hat. I'm not going to put a pom on the top because I find quite often when I need to wear a hat, it's probably raining, so I'll probably need to wear a hood on my hat, on my head rather, and pom-pom is just a bit annoying, so this is going to be pom-pomless, which is very unusual for me, but isn't it beautiful? It's so soft. Yes, I love that. So that's my Cambridge hat. And as always, I'll put links to all the patterns I talk about down below this video on YouTube. And when I say that, it's in the description. So under this video, let me just check. I've got my computer open here. Oh yeah, so there's a little bit of writing and then it says more. So click more and it will just drop down all the information and all the links. So now I've got a video on that's distracting me. So that's my Cambridge hat, so my first finished thing. Second up, I finished my snuggle down cowl. This is a pattern by me, and I knit this from cashmere. I'm quite warm, so this won't last long. But it's so soft. It's pure cashmere. And I used 3 balls of Cardiff cashmere. It's Cardiff cashmere large. It's 25 grams equals 56 meters, and it's colour 687, but I think it was called Zen. It's just the softest thing ever. And I'm very sensitive to anything with a slight prickle. I'm not so bad if it's wool and it's more scratchy. It's when it's tickly, specifically alpaca. I'm very sensitive to alpaca, and this is just lovely. So I used 3 balls. I did buy another one in the end, so I had 4, but I felt that this was long enough actually. So yeah, I'm very pleased with this. Oh, it's hot. Oh, I haven't told you what I'm wearing, have I? Did my hair a bit differently today. Not sure if I'm liking it or not. So yeah, that is my snuggle down cowl. It's a bit shorter than what is called for in the pattern. I don't think I have the pattern. And for this I cast on 100 stitches instead of whatever the pattern says. But I think I could have cast on 90 stitches actually, and that probably would have been perfect. This is almost perfect. But it's got a lovely stitch pattern. I have updated the pattern actually because some people were getting confused on how to do this pretty little detail stitch. So I've added a little video to the pattern. And you can find my patterns on both Ravelry and Etsy. So that's my snuggle down cowl. I think I'll be using that quite soon, but it's been ever so mild here, especially at night. It's because I changed my summer duvet to my winter duvet, and now it's really mild at night. Isn't that always the case? So what I'm wearing is my Traveller Shell by Andrea Mowry. I'll move the chair out of the way, if I can get back. I knit this probably, a couple of years ago, or a year ago, I don't know. And I really like it. I really like it. It's great for this time of year when you just need a little something warm, but you don't need a full-on cardigan or jumper. And it's got a lovely stitch pattern. I severely underestimated the amount of yarn I'd need for this, because basically it involves maths, and I'm not very good at maths, but got there in the end. So I used 2 yarns held together, 2 lace weight yarns held together, which is what the pattern called for, I believe. And I used Dandelion Dogwood, I've got it written on my computer here, Dandelion and Dogwood in the Fairground base in Betty Applewhite, and I needed 5 skeins in the end. I think originally I bought 3 maybe, and I also used Malabrigo lace, and I have no idea what colour that was, but it was a very similar colour to the Betty Applewhite. I fell in love with the pattern sample when I first saw the pattern, and it was in this lovely kind of greeny turquoise colour, and from that moment I knew I wanted one in this colour, which is not my normal colour, but I really like it, and I wear it quite a lot. I think I could have sized down. I knit the size 4. Well, I don't know though. Maybe it is the right size. So I knit a size 4, but thought I could possibly have done a size 3. But actually, now I've seen it again and worn it again, I think size 4 is the correct size. So that's what I'm wearing, and I do have my details for this on Ravelry, and I've updated Ravelry, and there's photos for almost everything. Okay, so next finished thing is a bit of a cheat because it was a finished thing last time, but I've added buttons. I added little buttons to this, can't remember what it's called. It's a little wrap cardigan that I will put a link to below the video. Yeah, so I just added these mother of pearl buttons. They look a bit grey actually in the camera, but they're more creamy. And I just love mother of pearl buttons. I don't think you can beat them. So that little one is done. And I talked about this in my last journal, so if you want to know more about that, please pop back. Okay, so I've got 3 other finished things. Next up is a wondrous dishcloth, and this is my pattern. And I know it sounds silly, but I think this is the pattern I'm most proud of. This pattern is by far my most popular pattern. I put a lot of love into this dishcloth pattern because I had very specific requirements. I wanted it to fit my hand. I wanted it to be spongy. I used to buy sponges, like cleaning sponges from the supermarket, which were basically this size and about half an inch, no, about 1/4 inch thick maybe. And I just, as time went on, I thought this is just plastic going into like the water supply, and I just became very unhappy with that. I thought, do you know what, I am going to design a dishcloth pattern. And I based it on these lovely sponges that I used to use, and this is my wondrous dishcloth. So it's knit in the round, but every now and again, you can see those little divots there, you connect the front of the dishcloth to the back of the dishcloth so that it doesn't kind of move around and get out of shape. And the back is smooth and the front is textured. And I knit these out of, probably going to say this wrong, Shepier's cotton Katona in the 25-gram balls, which I think are so lovely. They're just like perfect little sweeties. So yeah, that's my wondrous dishcloth, and I don't think I am anymore because I think I've got behind, but I was knitting along with my lovely friend Sharon, who is the Knitting Project. She is doing, I think it's called a year of dishcloths, and the basis behind it is you knit a dishcloth every month through the year, and at the end of the year you'll have 12 dishcloths, either to use yourself or gift or whatever you want to do. But something really delightful in having a little stack of handmade dishcloths in your kitchen. I think so anyway. You can see it's nice and spongy. So I was knitting away with Sharon, and I think I got to about July, maybe even August. And then, oh hang on, let's rewind a little bit. So I had a little stack going, and my lovely friend Amy moved house, and so I gave her a little stack, maybe 3 or 4 of these dishcloths and some other bits for a housewarming gift, because I think they made the perfect housewarming gift. If somebody gave me a stack of handmade dishcloths, I'd be so happy. So that kind of put my collection back, and then I got confused which month I made a dishcloth and which months I haven't. And then I decided to use the rest for my kitchen. So I've got confused. So I'm not sure if I'm really joining with Sharon anymore, but I probably will still make the dishcloths but not enter because I've lost track. This one is a gift. I know it looks like a strange gift, but I know the recipient will love it. So that is another finished thing. The next finished thing I've got 2 of. and I love this pattern. It is the December bow. Oh, how lovely is that? These bows, I've made lots of them. I just think they're so pretty, and they make lovely gifts and lovely decorations. Let me show you the other one. These are going to be little Christmas gifts for some friends. This one here is knit. So you hold 2 yarns together, and I use this, which could be a dandelion and dogwood, I'm not sure, and this, which I think this is drops mohair. And so these two together make this. It's very thick, this one. It's much thicker than this one, which I used fingering weight and mohair for that one. And the pattern is, I think, by Petite Knit. Pretty sure. I don't think it says. Yes, Petite Knit. And it's called the December bow. I think I should weigh them really, or would that be very helpful? Probably not, because there are 2 different yarns, but it doesn't take much yarn. Oh, what does the pattern say? That might be helpful. It says 29 grams of fingering weight and 11 grams of mohair. So it really doesn't take much. I think I made mine a little bit longer, so I think mine probably took about 30 grams of the fingering weight yarn. That is so pretty, isn't it? So basically I just, oh, hello. There we go. So basically I just raided my beautiful bits, and I have plenty, so it wasn't hard. The construction of this is really clever. You knit along, I guess it looks like a scarf really. So in the beginning you do some increases, you knit, 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 knit. I think, I don't know, I knit longer than the pattern. I think I probably knit about 60 centimetres or so. And at the other end you decrease. It's got this lovely I-cord edge all around, and this little bit here, kind of the bow band, is made with double knitting. And I think they're just perfect. I've used them before to wrap special packages, and I have one on my lovely wicker basket. I just think they're very, very pretty, and there's such a trend, isn't there, for bows at the moment, and they're very pleasurable to make. But there we go, that's my December bows. I just, in the pattern it tells you a different way to attach a loop, but I just thread it under the bow band. Bow band? Yes, I think that's what it's called. And I have the knot on here, and I just bury it under the bow band, and I just think they're lovely, and I'm probably making many more, I think. Right, I need some coffee because it's a lot of talking. Let's move on to in the making. So in my last knitting journal I shared with you this little kind of cardigan slash jumper that I was making, and it's called the Teddy Jumper. Oh no, I called it the Teddy Jumper. It's called Little A, and it's by Morissette C. And it looks cute from a distance, but I'm really not happy with it at all. I found the pattern very sketchy on details, and personally I think the small details make the biggest impact how things are finished, and I kind of had to make quite a lot up myself, and I don't like the way I finished things because I didn't know a better way. Also, I sewed on, let me stand up. Also, I sewed on pop studs, and I went for the plastic ones because they are kind of less visible, but they just don't really do up, and you need a lot, oops, see what I mean? And you need a lot of them to make it look even. I'm just unhappy with it. And I'm very unhappy with how messy this looks, and I don't know, I'm just not pleased with it. I find if I make something and it's not finished really nicely, I'm always disappointed. So that's a personality flaw, really. But I have it anyway. So yeah, I'm not terribly happy with this, but what I think I'm going to do is take the poppers off and do an I-cord little tie here and one here, and see how that works. But I'm hating the poppers because I don't know why they don't pop. Oh, that one did, and they're very hard to sew on so that you don't see it from the front. Yeah, so I think I will probably finish this. I'm going to put it away out of sight, and I'll get it out, I don't know, sometime, and embroider the face and do the I-cord ties. I hope that will work. What I do love though is those little ears, and I love the face. I haven't got, oh yes I have actually, because I've started knitting something else that I can, another kind of cardigan that I can embroider that little face and add the ears on. And it's in my lovely redesigned bag, which was such a kind gift. Oh, look at that. It's the loveliest colour, isn't it? So I have cast on another one of these, but I am just doing it stockinette, and I hope to be able to embroider that little bear face onto the front and add the ears. Let me stand up so I can show you. So it's the same shape as the little A with this kind of wrap over front. Just started this, oopsie, just started the second sleeve yesterday. And this pattern is such a nice pattern. It's very neat, finished beautifully. Yeah, so for this I'm going to pick up and add ears, probably here and around here, and I'm going to embroider the face. I don't think I showed you that. On this one I have these little bulb safety pins marked where the eyes and the nose go. And obviously it will be a bit different for this one, but I shall work it out, and hopefully this will be a lovely replacement for the first one. And I'm knitting it in exactly the same yarn. This is not my favourite yarn in the world. It is Drops Baby Merino. And I find this yarn quite splitty, but I love this colour, Baby Donkey colour. It's one of my favourite colours, Baby Donkey and Baby Bunny, the best colours. And also I find with this yarn, when you pick up sleeves and things, you get a line, no matter how careful you are. It's a very, I don't know why it does that. Is it because it's quite a twisted yarn maybe? Yeah, it could be possibly, couldn't it? The only thing with this little cardigan and doing it in stockinette rather than the stitch pattern is that you see all of the increases, but I don't think that's a problem. I think I'm going to call that a design feature. This yarn is in colour 23 and it's not officially named Baby Donkey, that's just my name for it. I've got some Drops Flora in black for the embroidery, so I think probably this weekend I will, I don't know if I'll do the embroidery. I think I'm a bit scared of that. It's a duplicate stitch, it's not hard, is it? I think I just need to man up and just do it. We've got some house renovation, or I don't know what you call it. What's another word for renovation that's not so... Renovation sounds so big. This is just redecorating. Oh, we've got some redecorating happening. We're turning the wrapping room, which used to be where we packed all the orders for So Sweet Violet, oh, I'm hot, into a nursery playroom. And we've been panelling the lower half of the walls. It's on this week's Patreon video actually, and I think I forgot to mention about my Patreon channel. I have a free 7-day trial going on at the moment for the top tier. So you'll get 7 days free to see if you like it. So that's, if you go to my Patreon channel and look at membership and then the top tier, and it should say 7-day free trial, or try for 7 days free, or something like that. So yeah, that's going on, so that's fun. I share a lot on my Patreon channel about kind of my lifestyle. It's more vloggy, more a bit like Vlogmas, I guess, but throughout the year. Okay, I have one more in the making. And I feel like this sock, it just keeps popping up and popping up. You may notice from my last episode, this is a different pattern, a different stitch pattern. And before I was knitting the Mystic Wave socks, and it was a lovely pattern, but I don't know, I just, you know, sometimes you just want something simple, not that that was hard, but I don't know, it just wasn't grabbing my attention at the time. So I felt like I needed to unpick a whole sock apart from the rib. So I'd nearly finished the first sock and I got to the point of almost doing the ribbing, and the thought of doing the other sock was just too much. So I unpicked it all the way down to the toe. Oh, yeah, all the way down to the toe. And then I found another pattern that I wanted to knit. I always knit my Sweet Vanilla toe up sock pattern as the base. I don't know if I've got a picture or not. Oh, I might have. I tend to just print off the pages I need and not the whole pattern, so let's see. No, I don't. But yeah, but it's my Sweet Vanilla toe up sock pattern. Oh, that's the other thing with Patreon that I forgot to mention. You get discounts off my patterns. So for the So tier you get 10% off, Sweet tier you get 20% off, and the Violet tier you get 30% off my patterns on Ravelry, only Ravelry. So yeah, so that pattern's on there. That was where that was heading. So to recap, because I've confused myself, this is my Sweet Vanilla, my toe up Sweet Vanilla sock pattern, and I've added in a stitch pattern from Dana Ray. I love her sock patterns. She does a lot of textured socks, which I really enjoy. And this is Fenced Rose stitch pattern, and it was a pattern with 3 different stitch patterns in it. Sorry, that's confusing, but it was one pattern and you get 3 different stitch patterns within that pattern, and I am doing Fenced Rose stitch pattern and I'm really loving it. Loving this yarn. I just didn't want to give up on this sock because the yarn is just so pretty. So that's the stitch pattern. It's quite hard to see with a variegated yarn, but I'm enjoying it a lot. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I think I mentioned in my last knitting journal that I knit my socks on ChowGoo 2.25 24-inch cable, but I always cast off with a 2.5. And the yarn is Strawberry Shortcake from Candy Shop Yarns by my lovely friend Deb. And I think that's everything. No, it's not. I've forgotten 2 big things. I need some more coffee. Okay. I'm going to go with the one that I'm currently working on. I have 2 projects that are the same. They're both Happy Patchwork blankets. And I just switch them out. I do a row on one, and then I put that one away, get the other one out and do a row on that one. So currently I am knitting on my peaches and pink one. Oh, I love knitting happy patchwork blankets. I don't think this one has grown since I last chatted to you, apart from these 2 and a bit squares, because I've been knitting on the green and blue one mostly. I told you something completely wrong. I don't even remember what that was. The way to do it is, so I'll finish this row and then I'll flip it completely upside down, and then I'll work this row. And then when I've done that row, I'll flip it this way round and work another row this side. Yes, that's how I do it. I also told you last time that I was using 2.25 needles. I am not. I'm using 2.5 needles. I'll just give you a quick peek in the basket because I just think that's the prettiest thing. So they are all my peach and pink beautiful bits. Oh, I can put that in. That's the leftover from that bow. I can put that in there now. This one has had more work on, although this one is put away at the moment. Yes. So the last time it was only 3 rows. And since then I've added this top row here. Oh, it's so pretty. And I've started, which is unusual because I normally finish on a whole row. And I've started the next row. This one I've added a little bit of violet in because I wanted to. I love violet. And here is my basket of beauty for this one. I really could do with some more blues, but I am not buying any more yarn. Do you know what? This year I only have 1 advent calendar and it's not even yarn. First time in years. Yeah, thought that was a fun fact. So they are my happy patchwork blankets, and the only other thing I have to show you is some dream knitting. My patrons will laugh at this because this is a bag of yarn that I bought a year ago maybe, and I have never cast it on because I'm scared of getting it wrong. It's for the Jethro cardigan. Oh, I need to remember something. I've got another finished thing which I haven't got, but I need to show you because I took a video. Remind me not to forget. So this is for the Jethro cardigan. I'll put a picture on the screen, and it's a pattern by Tanis Laverly, and it's just gorgeous. But the only thing that's putting me off is that in the past, I do like crochet. I'm a very basic crocheter, but I'm not very good at joining squares. I always do it too tightly and it completely ruins it. So I got scared and never cast this on, but I think I want to. I've been kind of prompted because she's brought out another pattern called the Ronstadt, something like that, sweater, which is a raglan sweater, and it's got granny squares kind of down and along and around the back as well, and it's so lovely. Anyway, I've got this lovely yarn. I will take some of the colours out to show you. I had a pinafore dress when I was a little girl. I mostly had my brother's cast-offs, so horrible corduroys, nylon checkered zip-up cardigans. So I didn't that often get new girly things, and I just fell in love. When I did get something, I loved it. And I think that's all the colours. It was a woolly, like wool plaid, I think you'd call it. Yes, and it was in browns and beiges and a little bit of pink, and I loved it so much. And it came with, let me see if I can find a colour, maybe more like that colour, a bit more beigey than that. It came with a little knitted jumper, and I'm sure it had a little frill at the neck and the cuffs, and it was a set, and I felt so special in that set. Anyway, these colours are based on that little dungaree skirt thing. So, or did I say it had a bit of pink in it? So pretty. So my main colour seems to be this, because I have more balls of this. I'd say this is Grown Up Donkey. And then I have some other beiges and some pinks. Ooh. Oh, that's so pretty, isn't it? I do think perhaps I want a really bright pink to just add a bit of pizzazz. So I may get one more ball, but this has been sitting in my craft cupboard for such a long time, and it's just a waste, isn't it? So I may as well knit and crochet. So I'm not sure when I'm going to start that. I may have started it by next episode, I may not have. But it's not going to get done if I don't start it, is it? And it's only yarn. If I do it too tight, I can just unravel and redo. Okay, so the thing I forgot to talk about was another finished thing, and that was, I haven't got it to show you, that was another rail baby bonnet. So I'll put the little video here, and it's for my little grandchild to be. The reason I don't have it is because I gifted it to George and his fiancée Chloe, who is the mummy and the daddy, just as a little like exciting thing. And it's so soft, it's just gorgeous. I love knitting those bonnets, and I've got more yarn to knit more. I think that's everything. My camera keeps stopping, so I hope it hasn't cut any chunks out of this video. I would have carried on and recorded a quilting journal, but I'm waiting for something in the post that is very exciting, and it's the Anne of Green Gables quilt that I shared in my last quilting journal, and I sent that away to be long unquilted, so I'm waiting for that to come back. It's supposed to come back today, so I may well record the sewing one if it does arrive, but for now that's it for knitting. Oh, I know, I wanted to ask you something. When I showed you these little things, the bows and the wondrous dishcloths, I just wondered if any of you had any good ideas and patterns for kind of little gift knits that don't take too much yarn, don't take too much time, and are very lovely. So if you have any ideas, I would love to know. Please put them down in a comment below, because I love doing things like that. I love making handmade gifts. I think that's everything. So I'm wishing you a happy, healthy and crafty time until I see you next. Bye!